Hello and welcome to Spectrum TV News at 12. I am Francis Oyima Edet, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Amnesty International demands coroner's inquest identities of 103 alleged incest victims before mass burial. Suspended CBN Governor Emefiele Reigned pleads not guilty to firearm charges. Plus, heat wave in U.S. Southwest region to expand east. Afternoon is the report that the Amnesty International Nigeria has demanded a transparent coroner's inquest on alleged 103 slain incest protesters from whom the Lagos state government is planning a mass burial, saying the plans should be put on hold. This follows the emergence of a leaked memoranda addressed for the mass burial of 103 persons identified as 2020 incest victims. The Lagos state government, however, maintained that the victims to be buried were not from the controversial Lekki tollgate shooting. A permanent secretary, Ministry of Health, Dr. Olusegun Ogboye, while responding, the director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Issa Sanusi, in a statement said the Nigerian authorities must urgently halt their plans to carry out a mass burial of the incest responsibly brought to justice in fair trials. Away from that, the Agricultural and Rural Development Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory, the Acting Secretary, FCTA, Ishaq Sadiq, inaugurated the exercise in Paikon Kore Grazing Reserve, Gwagwalada Area Council, Abuja. According to him, the mass vaccination exercise targets at least 1 million cattle of the disease in Suleja, Niger State, one of the neighboring states of the FCT. He appealed to the cooperation of the livestock owners with the veterinary health workers to enhance ensure traditional rulers of constitutional role in governance, which is said would be effected through constitution amendment. Assurance for the traditional rulers and constitutional role in governance was the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Akpabio, who gave the assurance in response to requests made to that effect by the traditional rulers, said roles of the royal fathers in governance, particularly on security matters, are very important.
If we had the opportunity to visit all of you whilst we were, and if we would have made it as one of the manifestos and said, please, we want royal blessing. But before you give us the royal blessing, we promise you that we'll definitely do everything possible to work with the House of Representatives and all our colleagues to create a rule in our constitution for the traditional rulers in Nigeria.
Earlier in his speech on behalf of the traditional rulers, the ITSU Secretary Said Abubakar said the constitutional role of traditional rulers was expunged by framers of the 1979 Constitution. He lamented all efforts made by traditional rulers across the country under the urges of National Council of Traditional Rulers to get back the role had not yielded any fruit.
Nigerian Constitution, including the traditional institution, give us roles to support, to advise, to mobilize all the policies, all the people we have, support the policies, promote the programs, and then later
has been arraigned at the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, on 2 counts of illegal possession of firearms and ammunition. He was brought to the court by officials of the Department of State Services, DSS, and was arraigned before the vacation judge, Justice Nicholas Owibo. Reports say former president of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA), Joseph Daudu, led all the lawyers in Emefiele's defense. The suspended Apex In a separate development, the Trade Union Congress (TUC) has applauded the decision of the federal government to remove fuel subsidy, but lamented that the persistent call for sacrifices on the part of citizens was no longer attainable. The TUC president Festus Osifo, while briefing newsmen on the state of the nation, noted that the federal government never reciprocates the sacrifices made by Nigerians. Osifo urged the Tinubu-led administration to show good example by given the current situation in the country. He noted that the Congress could only support concrete incentives that would be transparent and tangible, adding that they would not tolerate any additional attempts by the government to impose cash transfer palliatives. In another development, the Nigerian Navy shaped various parts of Rivers State in the last 16 months. The outgoing commander, NNS Pathfinder Commodore Suleiman Ibrahim, disclosed these in an interview with newsmen shortly after a Sanford parade in his honor in Port Harcourt. The Navy will continue to set ablaze vessels intercepted with stolen crude oil. Chugali explained that the burning of intercepted vessels with stolen crude oil was the Navy's standard operating procedure. From that, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has called for a multi-sectoral approach to address the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the sub-region. ECOWAS made the call at the end of a 3-day workshop held with relevant stakeholders in Calabar, Cross River State. In a statement, the ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abdel Musa, stressed the need for collective efforts to tackle arms proliferation while advocating the establishment of a night. In another development, the Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has suspended the Director of the Osun State Polytechnic, Dr. Tajuddin Odetaya, in the light of corruption allegations leveled against him. According to a July 11, 2023 memoranda by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Moritala Jimo, addressed to the acting registrar of the Polytechnic, Odetaya is facing an investigation over allegations of financial recklessness, corruption, and misappropriation of funds and abuse of office. The governor also approved the appointment of Alabi Adeyemi as the acting registrar. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omoyner has assured that the RISE agenda will create measurable impact in the state and the lives of the people. Speaking during the opening ceremony of the Akwa Ibom Dialogue and formal launch of the RISE agenda, the governor described the RISE agenda as not just a political manifesto, but a detailed and well-articulated governance blueprint, a vibrant, inclusive, diversified, and highly industrialized economy. The correspondent completes the report.
Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino has reiterated his commitment to the full implementation of the RISE agenda for the benefit of all Akwa Ibom people, with a call on the commissioners designate to see the appointment as a call to service. Speaking during the Akwa Ibom Dialogue and the formal launch of the RISE agenda held at the Ibom Icon Hotel and Golf Resort to you, the governor charged the nominees of the State Executive Council on the accurate, clear roadmap for the state. Governor who used the occasion to announce that plans are in top gear to set up the Ibom Leadership and Entrepreneurial Development Center, where young people with ideas will attend the school, stressed that the school will give them the opportunity to blossom their ideas, while the government will also support them for 1 year in setting up to implement their ideas.
But I'd like to say that you're coming into a new season. You may be old on the job, but there's a new template, and that template we will follow. The truth is, there is work to be done. The truth is, take results. And please, if you come to ESCO, we have brought you together because we expect that you will help us interpret and run with the vision that the RISE agenda represents. And I trust in your capacity. I have vouched for you to the Akwa Ibom people, and I want to believe that you will not let us down. Our people with necessary skills to compete.
The immediate past governor of the state and the special guest of honor, Udom Emmanuel, congratulated Governor Ino for laying the right foundation, stressing that his blueprint is developmental, transformational, and transitional. He therefore expressed optimism that there will be a robust engagement across sectors, such that at the end of the retreat, a solid document will be produced that will enhance the overall growth of the state.
And nothing could beat this. Let me also join my voice in saying congratulations. But one thing I can assure you we have in Akwa Ibom, we have the human resources. I think we can see the success down the line. But the people also must be able to support the process rather than making it actually not to work.
Earlier in his welcome address, the chairman of the occasion, the former Minister of Budget and National Planning, Senator Udoma Udoma, lauded Pastor Moino in reaching out to valuable indigents to think Akwa Ibom together, devoid of political divide, describing his presentation of his administration's blueprint.
Key interest rates to 30%, a 0.5% increase to curb the country's soaring inflation. The bank made the announcement at the end of its monetary policy meeting yesterday. Reports said the West African nation has been grappling with a battered economy marred by inflation currently over 42%, huge public debt, and a cost of living crisis. Celestine Kati says the four-story building that collapsed in Cameroon, killing 34 people, had been built without a permit. Kati, who visited the scene in Douala, said investigations has been launched and rescue efforts will continue so that nobody is left trapped under the wreckage. Meanwhile, the head of Cameroon's Order of Civil Engineers, Kisito Ngao, noted that builders seeing the heat wave baking the U.S. Southwest for weeks is set to expand into central and eastern regions. Meteorologists say beginning in the Midwest, the hot weather will extend east as far as the southern tip of Florida by Wednesday. Reports at least 18 heat-related deaths have occurred in surrounding Maricopa County since April, with 69 more deaths under investigation. Meanwhile, the Spanish Defense Ministry has said that in a statement, the ministry said the shipment had departed from the port of Santander and was expected to be delivered to Ukraine's military in early August. A statement identified the shipment to include 4 Leopard 2 multi-purpose vehicles and 5 ambulances, including 2 armored ambulances. World Cup debutants Philippines beats co-host New Zealand in WWC. To stay with us. As we move on with the rest of the news stories. On the business news, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has said that the outstanding 1.3 trillion naira debt of the federal government to the agency has nothing to do with the payment of dividends to the government. Reports say the federal government had accused the NNPCL of indebtedness to the tune of about 2.8 trillion naira, while outstanding claims for subsidy payments on petroleum products imports, supplies and distribution on trillion naira from the Federation account as debt by the federal government. To sell POS operators caught for price fixing risks 3 months jail term. The FCCPC, in a statement signed of the order, will pay 10 million naira for corporate entities and 1 million naira or a prison sentence of up to 3 months for individuals. The Commission noted that it was not seeking to limit to Section 127 of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018, respects and encourages a principal pricing methodology that is the product of market forces. The federal government has said that it would expand the country's health insurance coverage to reach out to at least 50 million Nigerians within the next 4 years. The federal government said one of the principal objectives of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu-led administration is to achieve universal health coverage by ensuring that all Nigerians have access to qualitative health care. Was represented by the Special Advisor to the President on Health, Dr. Salma Koklo, said the federal government is committed to reaching out to millions of Nigerians through the health insurance scheme. He assured Nigerians of access to quality healthcare services through strengthened primary and secondary health facilities in the country. Still in health, experts say people living with the human immunoviral therapy cannot transmit HIV to their sexual partner and are at low risk of transmitting the virus to their children. It noted that evidence from the World Health Organization indicates that there is negligible or almost zero risk of transmitting HIV through a pediatrician doctor. It cannot infect any other persons. In sports, New Zealand missed a gold in Wellington. Reports say it was a famous victory for the Philippines. The FC United have launched their new Adidas away kit for the 2023-2024 football season. The club announced the launching of the new away kit on their website yesterday. Challenge. Unlike previous seasons, the games had a twist where the housemates played a memory challenge which involved them memorizing 20 items under several boxes in 60 seconds, then dancing to music played by Big Brother, reports say, at the on our website, spectrumtv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 12. I am Francis Oyima, edit. Many thanks for being there and to enjoy the rest of your day.